Dundee Dialect and how to crack it. I got talking to some English people while I was abroad, and we got talking about how we fared with the local languages, the native dialects in different countries in the world. We all agreed that most of the countries like Spain, Portugal, Turkey, the Canaries, all seemed to be able to converse with us in our own language, English of course, but with different accents. Even Africans selling their wares from a blanket or a stall on the street could converse in German, French, Spanish, and of course again English. Very clever they should be teachers, even the children were good at it. The people we got talking to said the worst case of understanding English was when they went on holiday to the north-east coast of, wait for it, Scotland. They said the dialect was so thick in Dundee and Aberdeen that they actually thought that in each case, when they spoke to the locals, they had picked a Polish or Czechoslovakian. They couldn't make any sense out of what the local people were saying at all. Now I think that some of the English dialects are so thick that no one could possibly understand them, but I suppose Dundee and Aberdeen do take a bit of getting used to. This is a guide to tourists visiting Dundee, how to get around the dialect, crack the accent. I'm afraid Aberdeen will have to issue their own guide to their accent. But no more blundering about in the dark for people, tourists that is, visiting Dundee. Read on and learn. There's words in Dundee that are changed, as you'll see, to words that most people still ken. Like to die is to dee, and a lie is a lee. I were clued up on that gen. English is English, and Scots speak the English, and they say we're the best in the land. But that, I would guess, would imply Inverness, and Edinburgh they understand. But here in Dundee, an I is an E, and a lie is the lee, get the picture. And a pie is a pie, yet a lee could be leh. It's hard to explain, there's nae fixtures. Day's okay, and so is gay, and may, and say stay. But if it's pie or tie, we say pie and te. But pay, well up here it's pie. Eat is echt and wait is wecht, and height up here is hecht. But a fright is a flag, but a light's no a leg, and a night in Dundee's a nicht. Rain pours but pours spare, floors flare and sure share. But chore is a chore, and a door still a door, and a snore's a snore, and a boor still a boor. Why do you not becomes how do you know, and why don't you go becomes get. But I've got a lot proceeds, oh no you've not, and hand it all over sounds geese it. If it's wood then it's wood, but food is no fid, and a hood's no a hid, but good's gid. To hold is to hid, or sometimes to hud, and to be nude, well you're in the scud. A shawl is a shawl, and a stall is a stall, but a fall is a fa, and a wall is a wa. To haul is to haul, and to ball is to ball, and a brawl is a brawl, no a bra. Cold is called, and old is auld, but told's no told, but dealt is. Scaled is scald, and bald is bald. If your house is sold, you've sold it. To take part in a game, we talk part in a game. And a home is a hymn, but a comb's no a came. A flame's no a flame, and the same's no the same. And you're gammy if you're lame or you're game. To stay is to stay, to pay is to pay, and the tay is the tie, no the tay. But a tie is a tie, and a spy is a spy, and that plug on your eye is a stay. A ball is a ba, and a fall is a fa, but a doll's no a da, but your dad is. And snow becomes sna, and blow becomes blah, but a flow is no a flaw, but a flaw is. But a hall's no a ha, but a call could be ca, and lassies car ropes when they're skipping, and lassies ca names when they're playing their games. My dad ca's out names when he's kipping. Salt as ice sat, though hot as no hot, and a fault's no fat, but my eyes, and malt's no mat, and vault's no vat, but my dad says that VAT is. A dive is a dev, and a hive is a hev, and we can five is fev, but led's lid. But a jive is a jev, and a rive is a rev, and alive is a lev, but dead's did. Survive is survive, and if you skive, then you skev, but wives are no wevs in Dundee. No wifies are wives for the rest of their lives, and the skin you alive to you dee. A day's still a day, and May still is May, and when we say to pay, it's to pay. So you'd think that the tay would still be the tay, but it's no, for the tay is the tie. Hay is high, and to stay is to stay, but then say stays at say in Dundee. Which way is which way, but a lay's no a lie, 'cause in Dundee a lie is a lee. A tie is a tie, and a pie's a pie. The sky's the sky, but a fly's a flea. High becomes high, but a cry's no a cry, and a bairn doesn't cry, it greets. My is my, and by is by, but if you fly in the sky, you fly or you flee. But fry is fry, and spy's a spy, but you can die in Dundee or dee. Hip hip hooray is a thing we never say, or things like, that's really not fair. Now, go on yourself as merrier way, and bang bang, I bet that was sair. The in crowd's a clique, a loner's a geek, and less of your cheek means stop talking. To us smoke is reek, if you're sick then you're sick, and we go for a dander, not walking. A home is a hymn, and a stone is a stin, but a zone stays a zone, so does phone. But if you get a land and don't pay back again, they'll no leave you all in, not alone. So they're words in Dundee that are changed, as you'll see, to words that most Dundee folk ken, like to die is to dee and to lie is to lee. We're still well clued up on that, Jen. Well, if you ken where we stay, and I've showed you the way, to speak like you came frae Dundee. So if you're ever up here, well, never you fear, if you speak like I've showed you, like me. Now, I hope I've explained how some words get their name, and you couldn't be blamed if you've missed it. For Dundee is famed, and its dialect it's claimed cannot be explained. But you'll piss it. If all fails, Dundee's fast fix accent. I's are for A's, and A's are for I's, and E's are for I's as well. So if you get it recht, you can stay up a night and eat pears and shout out, "Go on yourself."